Life stories often take us on unexpected journeys, filled with challenges, betrayals, and moments of triumph. In today's story, we follow one woman's journey from being a homeless teenager to the successful founder of a game development company. Along the way, she faces the ultimate test of resilience, when the very people who tried to tear her down come asking for help. How does she navigate the pain of the past? And what lessons does she learn along the way? Join us as we explore this powerful story of perseverance and self-discovery. Subscribe to our channel to begin today's story. The afternoon light slants through my office window, casting a warm, golden glow across the row of gaming awards lining my bookshelf. Each crystal trophy catches the light differently, lending them a unique shine, silent testaments to the journey that brought me from a homeless teenager to the founder of Pinnacle Games. I run my finger across my latest achievement, the Game Innovation of the Year award, and a smile plays on my lips. 18 years of proving everyone wrong look pretty good on my shelf. As I take a moment to bask in the pride of it all, the doorbell rings, breaking the stillness of my office. I'm not expecting anyone. My team knows I work from home on Tuesdays to focus on our newest project. And Rachel has her keys to come and go as she pleases. I open the door and freeze. There, standing on my porch, is my mother. She looks smaller than I remember. A far cry from the confident woman who once ruled our family home with immaculate appearances. The woman who demanded perfection in everything, from how we dressed to how we presented ourselves to the world. The woman who had no tolerance for failure. That version of her has been replaced by someone with deeper wrinkles and anxious eyes. She clutches a weathered cardboard box against her chest as though it were a shield. "Hannah," she says, her voice wavering. "May I come in?" 18 years of minimal contact. The holiday cards I returned unopened. The voicemails deleted without a second thought. The graduation invitations ignored. And now, she stands at my door, unannounced. The urge to slam the door in her face is almost overwhelming. But curiosity gets the better of me. 5 minutes, I say, stepping aside to let her in. She walks into my home, her eyes darting around, taking in the evidence of my success, the modern furnishings, the framed magazine covers featuring my games, and the view of downtown Minneapolis from my window. "You've done well for yourself," she offers, her voice uncertain. I don't acknowledge the compliment. Instead, I ask, "Why are you here?" Her hands tremble as she places the box on my coffee table. There's something she wants me to see. Something I don't yet understand. She pushes the box toward me, her voice soft but pleading. "There's something you need to see." I make no move toward it, still processing her sudden appearance after so many years. After 18 years of silence. She thinks a cardboard box will make up for it? Still, her desperation weighs heavily on me. And I sigh, lifting the lid. Inside are several letters, neatly stacked. My stomach drops as I see the first envelope. University letterheads, acceptance letters, my name. 7 of them, all from 2005. I lift the first one, prestigious Northeastern University's game design program. A full scholarship. The letter feels cold in my hands, and I open it with shaking fingers. I read the words that should have been meant for 17-year-old me. "We are pleased to inform you of your acceptance." I look up at my mother, fury rising in my veins. "You hid these from me," I say, my voice dangerously quiet. She sinks onto my couch, her shoulders curving inward. Defeated, I didn't know what to do. Rachel was struggling with her applications, getting waitlisted everywhere. She whispers. I couldn't let her feel like the lesser daughter. The memory crashes over me, rushing home from school every day, hoping the mailbox would be filled with thick envelopes, only to find more bills and advertisements. I remember the disappointment in my father's eyes growing each day as no acceptance letters arrived. He would shout across the dinner table, berating me for not being good enough. "You let Dad kick me out," I say, my voice hollow. "You watched him call me a failure at that dinner." I can still hear his voice booming across the table. Not one acceptance letter after all that talk about game design programs. You didn't even try. Hannah, not like Rachel. Her eyes fill with tears. I never thought he'd go that far. I just wanted to give Rachel her moment. I feel the weight of her words. But the pain doesn't subside. I open another letter. California Tech. Full ride. They wanted me. I slept on Jim's couch for a year and a half. I lost everything, my home, my boyfriend, my future. The memory of Matt's face as he broke up with me still haunts me. I can hear his voice. I can't handle all this drama. Hannah, my parents think you should focus on someone more stable. Look at what you've accomplished anyway. She whispers. You're so much stronger than Rachel ever was. I laugh. The sound brittle and sharp. Now you're proud of me? Now that I've succeeded despite you? I remember the tiny back room of Console Heroes. The repair shop that became my reluctant salvation. Learning to fix gaming systems by day. Teaching myself coding at night. I remember my fingers cramping from hours of practice on a second-hand laptop. Each rejection from game companies who wouldn't even look at a self-taught programmer. No credentials, no pedigree, just me, my determination, and the hours of relentless practice. One by one, I place each acceptance letter on the coffee table, creating a physical timeline of what was stolen from me. 7 paths to a different life. 7 doors slammed shut. Her eyes flicker nervously. There's more. I need to tell you. The family's troubles are no surprise. Rachel is going through a divorce. She lost her job last month. My father's health is failing. And medical bills are piling up. I feel nothing but a detached curiosity. I've spent years struggling, building something from nothing. And now they're here, asking for help. Why are you showing me this now? I ask, my voice calm, measured. She blinks rapidly, caught between honesty and self-preservation. The silence that follows speaks louder than anything she could say. I already know the answer. The morning light glints off the still waters of Lake Superior, casting diamond-like reflections across the pine floors of my cabin. I chose this spot precisely for its contrast to my childhood home, open instead of stifling, natural instead of staged for appearances. No family photos line these walls. No glossy pictures of us on vacations. No staged smiles to show the world how perfect our lives were. The only things that hang in this place are framed concept art for my most successful games. The only things that matter here are the things I've built, not the things they tried to destroy. I hear the tires on gravel before I see the car. My shoulders tense as I spot my mother stepping out of our sedan, with Rachel following behind her. Even from a distance, I can see how the years have changed them. My mother's polished attorney persona is fading, replaced by a woman who looks perpetually tired. Her designer clothes, once a symbol of her success, now look more like department store basics. Rachel's once perfect highlights have given way to dark roots showing through her hair. They make their way up the front steps, and I can feel my pulse quicken. I make them wait for a full minute before opening the door. I stand there, arms crossed, watching as they approach. My heart doesn't race, not like I thought it would. There's no excitement or joy to see them again. It's more like standing in front of a mirror, watching a reflection I'm no longer sure I recognize. What a lovely place, my mother says, her voice forced cheerfulness as she inspects the cabin like it's a house on the market. I don't answer. Rachel plops down on my leather couch without invitation, running her fingers along the armrest with a practiced air of indifference. So rustic, Rachel says, her voice dripping with sarcasm. Nice view. Must have cost a fortune. I remain standing, arms crossed, my gaze steady. What do you want? I ask, my voice cool, even. My mother perches on the edge of an armchair, a rehearsed smile in place. We thought it was time for some family healing. Hannah, she says, trying to sound sincere, after all these years, it's as though nothing has changed for her. She's still trying to control the narrative, still trying to spin everything into a story where she's the victim and I'm the one who should forgive. I don't answer. The silence stretches between us, thick and heavy. I don't have the words to explain just how much of my life they've taken from me. But Rachel breaks first, her voice sharp. Mom, just tell her, she says. Dad's medical bills are piling up. The insurance isn't covering his heart treatments. I lost my partnership at the firm last month. And Jason's dragging out the divorce proceedings to avoid paying alimony. And this concerns me how? I ask, though I already know where this is headed. My mother leans forward, her eyes widening as though I might be moved by her words. We know you've done well for yourself, Hannah, she says. That gaming company of yours, Pinnacle Games, your valuation is through the roof. We were hoping you could help with Dad's medical expenses. And Rachel needs somewhere to stay while she gets back on her feet. The audacity of it, the nerve of it, after everything, after they kicked me out at 17, after they ignored me for 18 years. They're here, asking me for money, asking for a place to stay. You want what? Money? A place to stay? I can barely keep the bitterness out of my voice. Families make mistakes, my mother says, voice wavering now. But we're still family, Hannah. I shake my head, the words escaping me before I even think. A mistake is forgetting a birthday. What you did was deliberate sabotage. Rachel's face flushes, and I see the anger flaring in her eyes. You were always showing off with your little computer games. She sneers. It was embarrassing. Embarrassing? I repeat, my voice rising now, the years of resentment coming to the surface. While you were attending law school graduations and playing it safe, I was sleeping on Jim's couch for 1.5 years. I was working 3 jobs just to make ends meet while I taught myself coding at midnight. I was rejected by every single gaming company because I didn't have the credentials you so carefully kept from me. I see their faces, and I realize something. The anger isn't coming from them because they feel sorry. It's because they're resentful of the life I've created without them. They never thought I'd succeed. And now, here I am, successfully living without them. I turn to the window, looking out at the serene view. The quiet stillness of the water is the calm I've fought for. The calm I've created on my own. Despite them, Rachel needs somewhere to stay while she gets back on her feet. I say, turning to face them, you kicked me out when I was 17. And now you want to come back into my life. Asking for help? My mother opens her mouth. But I raise my hand to stop her. I'll think about it, I say. But you need to understand something. You don't get to rewrite this story. Not after everything you've done. The silence hangs heavy in the air. I make no move to invite them in any further. They stand there, unsure of what to say next. Their desperate need for validation clear in their eyes. I walk to the door and open it. The message is clear. You can leave now. They shuffle past me, and I close the door behind them, feeling the weight of their presence leaving my space. They'll never understand. They'll never comprehend the sacrifice it took to get here. The hours of sleepless nights. The rejections. The loneliness. But I've moved on, and they'll never be a part of that future. The sound of my phone buzzing pulls me from my thoughts. It's early morning, the sunlight spilling through the windows of my office at Pinnacle Games. I've been thinking a lot about what I want to do with my life now. How to turn all the pain, all the lost years, into something meaningful. A new chapter is waiting. And yet, I can't help but feel a small, cold emptiness at the center of it all. My past, my family's betrayal, has lingered in my bones like an old ache. I glance at the screen. It's a message from Jamie, my right hand at Pinnacle Games. Got the email. It's official. Recode is going global. The excitement in her words strikes me. But it's not the only thing that hits me in that moment. Behind the news, there's a quiet undercurrent of realization. I've been chasing something, chasing success, but it's always been for the wrong reasons. It's been to prove something to my parents. To show them that I could make something of myself despite their sabotage. I think back to that first year. The tiny studio apartment that barely fit my desk and laptop. The nights spent coding in the dim light of a lamp. The sound of my neighbors' televisions as my only company. I remember how hungry I was. Hunger not just for food but for validation. I had nothing but my dreams and my determination. And yet it felt like I was constantly hitting walls. Every rejection, Every empty promise made by people I thought would support me. Those walls grew higher and higher. But now, standing on the other side of that struggle, I'm different. I've learned so much. About business, about game design, about the importance of finding a chosen family. And the most important lesson? That I don't need validation from anyone. Especially not from the people who tried to erase my dreams. I set my phone down and glance around the office. My team is here. Working, building something they believe in. Something we've all fought for. I feel a surge of pride. These people, they're my family now. They see me, they believe in me, and they've helped me build Pinnacle Games into something more than just a business. It's a symbol of resilience, of dreams that survived despite the odds. A knock on the door brings me back to reality. I open it, and Jamie steps inside, her usual smile on her face. Her presence is a reminder of everything I've gained since cutting ties with my past. She's been by my side through thick and thin. And now, more than ever, I know that she's one of the few people who understands me fully. Got a minute? She asks, looking at me with a knowing smile. I nod and gesture for her to sit. She pulls up a chair, leaning forward, the excitement in her eyes reflecting the energy of the moment. You're not going to believe this, she says. We've got an offer from Washington Gameworks. They want to partner with us. They're offering $20 for 10% equity in Recode. I stare at her for a long moment, trying to process what she's saying. The offer is huge. It could take Pinnacle Games to the next level. But the excitement that should be bubbling up in me feels strangely distant. It's not about the money. It never was. You don't look excited, Jamie notes, leaning back. I am, I say, pausing, but I think I finally get it. It's not about the money, or the success, or the recognition. It's about building something real. Something we believe in, something that matters. Jamie's smile widens. I know exactly what you mean. And we're doing it, together. Her words hang in the air. And for the first time, I realize that she's right. This is what success looks like. It's not the flashy deals, the big offers, or the recognition from people who didn't believe in me. It's about creating a world where we can thrive, where we can make a difference. A few weeks later, after countless late nights, early mornings, and decisions that felt like they might break me, we receive a game-changing email. We are interested in featuring Recode in our spring showcase. It says, your innovative narrative and immersive gameplay have caught our attention. I can hardly believe it. Pinnacle Games is about to be recognized by the world. In the weeks that follow, the download counter for Recode begins to tick upward. Then faster. It's as if everything I've worked for is finally falling into place. The servers crash due to the traffic. But it doesn't matter. It's happening. We're being recognized for something real. I print out the first review we receive, a glowing 5-star rating, and frame it, hanging it proudly on the wall of my office. It's not a college degree. Not the one I was denied so many years ago. But it's everything I've worked for. It's my validation. It's the proof that I didn't need anyone's permission to succeed. As I stand in my office, surrounded by my team and the success we've created, a sense of peace settles over me. The noise of the past, the betrayals, the rejections, the years of doubt, has quieted. What remains is the sound of creation, of people working together toward a shared dream. Building something meaningful. Pinnacle Games is no longer just a business. It's a testament to resilience, to a journey that started in darkness and has now emerged into the light. The phone buzzes in my pocket, and I glance at the screen. It's another message from my mother. It's been weeks since I sent the invoice, and I haven't heard from her since. We don't have that kind of money. Her last message read, and I knew then that I would never get the apology or acknowledgement I had once hoped for. It doesn't matter anymore. I silence the phone and look around the room, seeing my chosen family, my team, working tirelessly, believing in each other, and in me. These are the people who stood by me when everything else seemed to fall apart. They saw my worth when no one else did. They're the ones who truly know what success means. The truth is, I don't need their apology. I don't need their validation. I've already built something more valuable than any of them could ever take from me, a future I own. A legacy that's mine to define. And for the first time in years, I feel free. If you want to hear more of life stories like mine, make sure to subscribe to our channel and stay tuned for new videos.